Hello, Internet. It's me, Sid. Um, it's been a little while since I've made a video, but, I've been working a lot, and this video is about work. So, well, before I talk about that, can we admire? I've got some cool lights going on. I've got, like, a sort of nebula light. It does, like, a space projection, and there's little stars and stuff, little green stars. These little freckles on my face are actually stars. Um, so yeah, we got cool things going on tonight. I've been able to afford new things since I have a job. So, yeah. But anyway, um, so I came out as gender fluid to my coworkers at work, some of the ones I'm closest to. Not my manager, like one of my managers, yeah, but not like the main manager who is ahead of like all the other ones because some people are like managers on a lower level, and then there's one who like manages everybody, including the other lower level managers, if that makes sense. Because I know that that's like a common dynamic in a lot of work environments. But anyway, so the main guy wasn't there when this happened, but the way it started was because one of my coworkers approached me and asked me if this quote that she learned on a show was like appropriate to use. So it was from the show Dollhouse, which I've never watched. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Um so I if there's any fans or haters of Dollhouse, sound off in the comments because I don't know anything about it. Um but yeah, I um, what the quote was apparently said by a trans person in the show. But anyway, they said it was something like similar to what you would say like on my mama, on God, that kind of thing, where you swear on something, on the Bible, you know. So they were swearing on a line of dead trannies. That was the quote. And this cisgender coworker of mine asked me if it was okay for her to say that, and I was like, no, that's not really cool to say. And also, I'm gender fluid. I am a transgender person. A little bit girl, a little bit boy was how I described it. I didn't really go into detail about being non-binary, being gender florin. I didn't tell her that I use all pronouns. These were things that I just didn't really specify, and no one asked. So, like, yeah, and it went pretty well. Like, she wasn't very defensive because what she said was like really violent and kind of obviously offensive, so it wasn't hard to like explain why it was wrong. And and then like Kayla, who was yeah, she was like the manager of this night. I guess it's fine to use real names. I don't know. I feel weird about using real names for people, but yeah, it's a common name, and there's more than one Kayla at the work, so anyway, it doesn't really matter. But she, she was like, obviously we accept Sid for who she is, and that was cool. It was, interesting, and I was glad that she did that, but at the same time, a lot of coworkers, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of my coworkers have used slurs before, especially the D slur. Um, that's not great. I haven't really felt comfortable at work. Like, that's why I haven't come out until now, and it's been over a month that I've been working there. So, yeah, but I have been out as bi for, like, a few weeks now. I'm not out as poly, but I don't really feel afraid to, like, mention that I have two partners because a lot of people there are open cheaters. I mean, maybe not a lot, but, like, a couple, you know? Not to name names, I'm not gonna do that, but, yeah, so like I don't really feel afraid being poly when like, you know, people are cheating openly. So, yeah, it's kind of a dramatic thing, but obviously I'm not going to like spill too much tea because like, you know, I care about the people at my work, and these are real lives that could be affected potentially, if any of this were to like get to them, or if these people, if my like location got doxxed, that would be a big problem. So you know admire these lights. Let's not worry about the potential ramifications of me yapping too much, and like admire these lights instead. you know they're very pretty, and let's pretend like this is all just some kind of anime. I mean, look at me. Don't I look like I'm from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or some shit? Like, come on. You know, we don't have to worry about uh the Taco Bell. You know, it's all good. We're just having a nice little Gen Z night, aren't we? Look at how Gen Z. This is such a Gen Z thing, you know, these light projectors. This looks like some TikTok shit, doesn't it? Um, I know. Look at my makeup, so Gen Z, so 2020 2020 coronavirus core, you know? If that makes sense, like 2020 alt kid. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, I care about you, and I'm glad that I was able to like. I was gonna wrap up the video, but actually I have a lot more to say. I was ready to wrap it up, but actually I have more to say. So yeah, like it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I was glad that I was able to do that. That I was able to come out as gender fluid because, you know, I have been very like depressed. I mean, not very depressed because in a lot of ways, like getting a job has been making it easier for me to survive and you know, have fun in life and stuff, and I've been less lonely. But that was kind of hindered by the fact that they didn't know this huge thing about me. You know, they didn't know my gender, and yeah, like I'm still not comfortable with like telling them when I'm having a moment where I would prefer they them and when I would have a moment where I would prefer he him. Like they only ever call me she her basically, except for like a few times where it seemed like people used they them for me, but it was hard to tell because um it was like they might have been referring to multiple people at once. But yeah, anyway, um sorry, I keep pausing to like collect my thoughts because there's a lot to say. I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words what it meant to me because it really was a big moment, but there's still like a lot they don't know and a lot that they will probably never understand, and there's just like something you have to accept about that because not all of them probably really believe that there's more than two genders. They might just not be open about saying that, you know? And a lot of them kind of treat queer people like punchlines a little bit, and that's why they're comfortable using slurs at work. But there's also other people who are openly queer at work. There are a lot of gay girls at work, specifically, because the staff is mostly female. And yeah, so it's very interesting. Um, It's very complicated, you know, but I would say if I were to rate this, I would say probably 6.5, you know. Not terrible, not abysmal, not traumatizing, but also like, you know, obviously things could have been better. Maybe it would be good if they didn't use queerphobic slurs at work, you know, transphobic and homophobic slurs. They haven't used the F slur so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Um, so, you know, I guess it's complicated, isn't it? Yeah. But um I guess I will wrap it up now. That's basically all I had to say. I'm glad that I got to do this, and I will update you if anything like good happens in regards to my you know, social dynamics at work, you know, if anything good happens or anything bad happens. Um I am also able to like kind of dress up the way I want to at work. I mean, obviously there's a uniform. You have to wear the Taco Bell like logo t-shirts, and you have to wear mostly all black except you can wear blue jeans. Um you have to wear the hat, you know, and everything. But like at the same time, I can wear the makeup that I want to wear. I can paint my nails how I want to do them. I do have to cover up my hair because there's like hair nets and hat rules and stuff like that. And I also have to wear a headset when I do like when I'm taking orders on the headset. But I can put pins on my jacket, which I've been doing. It's not this jacket, it's a black one because this one is actually blue. Um, but yeah, like there are little things you can do to express yourself at work. Yeah, and to be honest, my boss is sort of like not super strict on some of the uniform rules, which is which I'm glad for because he's, you know, that's a good thing. That makes it more enjoyable at work. Yeah, and I feel like I've gotten closer to my coworkers recently, so that's been good. I'm glad that I can connect with people because, you know, there's that element of loneliness that I'm trying to like minimize in my life because it's not very fun. So I think I'm gonna go now. I hope that you're happy for me. I hope that life is treating you well and that you're staying safe out there. Um, yeah, bye. Love ya. Love ya. Teehee.